All right, guitarists, intermediate, experienced guitarists. This is a very, very brief run through of 3 parts of American Pie. American Pie has kind of like, we'll call it 4 movements. It's got an introduction, it's got kind of a lead up, it's got the main chunk of the song, and then it goes back to the introduction feel. And so each part has a slightly different feel. So I'll show you the first 3 parts, and the first and last part are very similar. So the first part of the song has that, what they call freely in the music, some transition of chords, and you can hear some great bass movement here. I'm trying to get the best angle. Well, yeah, that might just do perfect. So it gets some transitions between some chords, and it just follows his song as he's starting the narrative of the long, long time ago and all of that. So the hardest part here is learning this D/F sharp, which is the second chord. So I start off with this G. And this, what's happening here is that bass line is moving from G, F sharp down to E. And that's long, long time ago. This D/F sharp happens a lot in this song. Pretty much every time he's playing a G, going to an E minor, he goes. So when I'm in the G position, it's pretty straightforward. I leave my ring finger where it is, from if I'm playing a G with 2 fingers there. There's the G. And I take it's only movement on my middle and ring fingers. And my middle finger goes to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and my first finger reaches all the way to the 6th low E string on the 2nd fret. You can play the whole thing open. In theory, you're supposed to use this finger and slightly mute the 2nd string, and you're supposed to use this pinky finger and slightly mute the high E string. So it sounds, in theory, that's what you should get. But if you play it all open, it's not the end of the world. So the first part. And this is the part where he'd be singing, still remember how that music used to make me smile. And then we've got this fun little D progression. I'm playing this D chord. This is D sus4 when I take my pinky and put it down. And this is D sus2 when I lift up everything but my first and ring fingers. So we get this sound like this. So if I were playing the first bit nice and slowly, if I were around the campfire, long, long time ago, I can still remember how that music used to make me smile. And that just repeats. And then, I mean, the chords are in the music, which is posted in EDSBY. It's February made me shiver, every paper I... So that's pretty straightforward. The bass line runs sometimes up as opposed to this down. It also runs up like this. So on the C chord to the A minor. And I can't remember what song, but I believe we've gone through that before. So I'm in the C. I take my middle finger and I move it to the A string, 5th string. I lift my ring finger off and I play that. And then I play into an A minor. And that's happening with bad news on the doorstep. Bad news on the doorstep. I couldn't take one more step. You know, I think that takes care of the entire first bit, the freely bit. This. The second bit is called moderately. So the first bit was this kind of freely singing along. The second bit has a bit of a bump. This is the beginning. I'm getting into this I've got 4/4 time throughout it all, but now I can hear we've got a steady beat. And this part is really simple. It uses the G to the D, F sharp to the E minor. So be prepared for that. And it sounds like this. This is the first time we hear bye, bye. You can hear me strumming. I'm accentuating the first strum for each chord. So G, C, and a G, and a D. A G, and a D, and a G, and a D. G. You can hear that's going. That's the second part. So first part is called freely. Do, 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 do. And when that ends with the day the music died, and then we kind of get a beat with the bye, bye, this American pie. So that beat continues for that second section. Now, those are two short sections. The third section is the meat and potatoes of the whole song, and I'm not going to play it all, but it's called Moderately Fast. Moderately fast is the whole, all the verses, did you write the book of love, helter skelter, summer swelter, all that business. And I've picked it up. I started with nice and slow, and then I moved into this. And now I'm going even faster like this. Did you write the book of love? Do you have faith in God? If the Bible tells you so. You need to be able to go G, D sharp, E minor. That's for all of the. Do you believe in rock and roll? Can music? You'll find most of that once you get that D to F sharp. Sorry, G to D, F sharp to E minor. It'll become pretty clear. It's pretty straightforward. So that last part there that I was just playing, I've A, increased the tempo, and B, I've also, similar strum pattern though, I'm giving it a little bit of, right? I started off with this, bye, bye, Miss American Pie. And when I get to that end section, I'm into the, did you write the book of love? And do you have faith in God? In this section, the way I would strum it is I'd use my palm right here, and I'd kind of hit. Partially because I'm in a room and it's very quiet in here and I don't want to really hammer on it, but you can do whatever you want. This last section here is faster and heavier. That takes care of all of the verses and choruses from the all the way to the very end. And then at the very, very end, we get a repeat of 1 and 2. And we start off with a repeat of 1 with, I met a girl who sang the blues, and we're freely again. Asked her for some happy news, and she just, and then when we're done that freely section, we finish up with one more, section number 2, which is, so bye, bye, Miss America. It goes back to that speed. So we start slow, increase the tempo. We spend most of the song playing at a fast tempo. We go back to the slow, back to the medium tempo. Skills you need to really work on for this tune is G, D, F sharp, E minor, and C, C/B, A minor, and I think once in a blue moon it throws in A minor going the other direction, but I can't remember. Okay. That's it. Less than 10 minutes, American Pie. I mean, I could have played the song all the way through in less time than this, but that's okay. Please feel free to ask questions if you have them. I'm absolutely happy to answer them, and I hope that helps explain the 3 sections of American Pie.